I'm Genny with Extra Living at eXp Realty, and I'm at Cat-n-Bird Winery today in Chelsea, and you are watching Life Along 280 in Chelsea. So today we're at Cat-n-Bird Winery in Chelsea, and I want everybody to know how special this place is. I mean, it was a little hidden gem, Matt.
It was.
Now more people know about it.
More and more people are showing up, and it's we're having a good time with it.
It's so much fun just to have like the live music that you'll have out here on weekends. You know, what are your working hours here?
So normally we're open 12 to 6 on Saturdays. My wife and I, we both got real jobs. And this is a hobby that's really turned into a small business. So we do open to the public on Saturdays 12 to 6, and then we do a lot of private events.
What made the two of you decide, you know what, we could do a good job with this?
So I tell the story a lot. It's actually kind of interesting. So I started making homemade wine, and if you've ever made homemade beer, you can basically get a kit. You can get kits for wines. We started off making kit wine. And my wife likes the sweeter wines. I like the drier wines. And over the course of, several years, we had bottled over 1,000 bottles, really, for just us.
Wow.
So at any given time, we had 400 or 500 bottles on site, and this was before we had this place, just in our regular house. So one day we started looking around at different properties. We found the house that we're in now, and we really did need all the square footage. So I jokingly told my wife, hey, if we buy this house, we can turn the basement into a winery. And that's kind of like when you're telling, your wife you want to buy a motorcycle, and if she thinks it's a good idea, maybe you're on to something. So she said it was a good idea. It was a long story. It took a little while. It took us about 4 months to actually go through and buy the house, which allowed us about 4 months to do a lot of research and planning. But we had everything queued up. The day that we closed on the house, we already had the paperwork to send off to actually start the business and then start the whole winery process as well. So it took about 8 or 9 months to go through the process of not only building out the winery, but getting all the permits in place to start it.
Well, so that means you're very committed.
We're committed. Yeah, we've got a lot of equipment and we've done a lot of work, and we're doing a lot more work. There's always renovations going on, and for the people that come in on a regular basis, it seems like every week or so they come back, things are a little bit different. Parking's different, the tiers are different. We've got a stage out behind us now where we're doing a lot of live music, and we've got bigger plans and more stuff coming. We've already got a handful of weddings on the books for next year, but we do a lot of rehearsal dinners, a lot of showers, baby showers, bridal showers, stuff like that. But rehearsal dinners a lot too. Just whenever anybody wants to get together, Christmas parties, whenever people want to get together and just have fun, this is a good place to come, because it's not like a restaurant where we're trying to get people in and out because you've got tables. You rent the whole place for a few hours, and we've got sound system and music and video projectors, and it's really just an opportunity to relax, unwind, meet with people, just have fun.
You can find out about that on your website, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go to catnbird.com, so CAT-N-bird.com, or if you're in the Birmingham area, just Google wineries around me and you'll see Cat-n-Bird. We're actually the closest winery to Birmingham proper.
And if you've been here before, maybe couldn't get into the parking lot, all the parking has changed now, makes it super easy, so you need to come back and test it out.
We make a wine. We make all the wine here, but in addition to that, we do kind of some fun stuff too. So we make wine-based daiquiris. We've got 4 different ones, but at any given time, we've always got a blue raspberry. Seems like the children really like those, and the kids. We're very kid-friendly. Bring your kids, bring your dogs on leashes, husbands on leash as well. But yeah, we have a good time with it. We've also got champagne, and we've teamed up actually with Steel City Pops, where they'll put a popsicle into a glass of champagne.
Oh yeah, I heard you talk about that.
So it flavors the champagne like the popsicle, and then you actually get a boozy pop when you're done as well. So, once again, kind of fun.
Yeah, see how creative they are. It's amazing. So my family, my husband and kids brought me here for Mother's Day, maybe last year. I think it was last year, that we came out and got to listen to live music. So always a good time, always a good time. So tell me about the process of making the wine. You don't necessarily grow the grapes here, right?
Right. So we don't have a vineyard. We import all of the grapes and juice from vineyards all around the world. So the Sauvignon Blanc that you've got is from New Zealand. There you go. And I'm actually drinking a red blend of ours, which is really popular. It's called a Trinita Cremisi. We had a contest to figure out who could come up with the best name, and it means the Crimson Trinity.
Oh, that is a good name.
So this is about 70% Syrah, 15% Cab, and 15% Zen.
Oh.
And this is something that Robyn and
delicious.
I came up with.
Okay.
So, and on that note too, so I've mentioned Robyn a couple of times. She's not here, obviously, on film, but a lot of people ask about the Cat-n-Bird name. I'll go ahead and kind of mention that.
Absolutely.
So when we were dating, we were trying to come up with a cute name that would, that would make sense for us together. I mentioned earlier we had all this wine that we're making. You have to put labels on the wine, or every red looks the same, every white looks the same. It's really hard to start to distinguish which you've got or whatever. So came up with Cat-n-Bird, thinking that Cat, being my last name is Lyons, and Robyn, her first name, right, with a bird. So that's where the name came from. It's really interesting. We had opened, so this is a year plus in planning. Had people in, we had already done weddings, we were open to the public, and the lady came in and she said, "It's so cute that you named it after your wife." And I said, "Well, kind of. It was Cat and Bird, my last name." She goes, "Honey, you're married. It's Robyn Lyons." And I looked at her and I was like, never even crossed my mind. So if my wife was here, she would say, "It's all mine. It's all mine." That's what she likes to say.
No, I do love it. It's such a cute name. And we were telling the story the other night when we were all swapping bottles and passing them around.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, and if you want to learn a little bit about the winemaking process, we can head in there and show you how we do it and what we've got in process and in production.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay, Matt, so obviously this is where the magic happens, right?
Yes, this is where the magic happens. So I mentioned that we don't have a vineyard. We import all of our grapes and juice. So as an example, we actually started a Chardonnay this week. Chardonnay comes in this case, it's a 55-gallon drum of Chardonnay from Napa. And what we do is we get the Chardonnay, and you can kind of glance in here as well. You'll actually see that it just started fermenting. So, yeah, so we'll show you a video here in a minute of that. But basically what we do is we'll bring in different juice and different grape skins from all around the world. And traditionally, each one is a single varietal, meaning one different kind of wine. Right now, we've got 12 different vats. Each one holds about 550 to 600 bottles. So we bring in the juice, and then just depending on what we're doing, so this is a Chardonnay. We didn't bring in any skins on this, but traditionally on a red, we'll actually get the grape skins as well. And then we've got oak, you've got yeast, you've got a whole bunch of other stuff that actually is a part, of the wine making process. And everybody asks how long it takes. It's usually about a year or so on a red at a minimum, and then whites are about 6 months. It just kind of depends. So if you feel this compared to this one, this is probably about 63 degrees. And right now this is probably about 76, 77 degrees because it's actually going through fermentation. And it takes about 2 weeks, really about 10 days, but within 2 weeks, all of the wine is actually made, all of the alcohol is made. And then it's really just a matter of aging it and trying to get the specifics of what flavors and profiles you want out of the wine. And that's really what takes so long.
Real estate market is actually still on fire, still waiting to find out who our president is actually certified to be coming into office in January, and it hasn't stopped or slowed down anybody looking. Now, if it's over $500,000, that has slowed down just a little bit, but let me tell you what's going on in Shelby County. We are right here in Chelsea today at Cat-n-Bird Winery, and it's one of the things that makes Shelby County so amazing. We've got a couple of wineries. This one is so much fun. I beg you to come by and take a look at it. But what's really pushing sales right now is the shortage of inventory, and we really anticipated new construction to really be the majority of that for this year. And that really has not been as big of a percentage as we anticipated because lumber costs have pretty much tripled, and our new construction prices are going up, 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 up. We're also having, because of COVID, delays in microwaves and appliances. We can't get them. So a lot of times people are having to move into their new houses minus some of these appliances, which is normally not what's going to happen. Resale has really been the driving force in the market, and people have been taking a look at what's important in their lives and trying to decide, hey, I don't need this big of a house. I need to move down with a lower payment. We're going to go travel and spend time together, and that's what's important. And other people have said, hey, I'm closing my office or business down because I can work remotely, so I need more space and a place to work and to live. So that's really what has been driving everything so rapidly. We have had about 400 more sales, like 395 more sales year to date this year over last year in Shelby County. Chelsea has had tremendous growth, and Alabaster has had tremendous growth. And really, Alabaster, you can buy a house for an average of $230,000, okay? That is affordable. In Chelsea, it's around $290,000. Very affordable. But the most sales, ironically, have been in North Shelby County in the 35242 area with 1,155 sales going there. And the average price is well over $430,000. So you can see the expensive homes are actually what's selling more than anything. People want that lifestyle and the convenience to all the activities along Highway 280 and the school systems as well. So I would imagine that some people have probably moved in from some of those other areas to the 35242 area. So I want to just kind of let you know that sellers are getting about 9% more this year than they were last year, and 9% more of houses are selling this year over last year. It's amazing growth, and I think we're going to continue right on through 2021. It's not going to slow down maybe until the end of next year, because we're going to start seeing some of these forbearances and deferments from COVID start popping up, and that will affect our market, but it's okay right now. If you're thinking about selling, let's take advantage of one of the best markets we've seen in years. I'll give you the tips on how to make it happen. Just call me at 205-223-1044 or take a look at sellitthefirsttime.com.